The news from St. Lucia is that it is very unlikely that there will be any play today, especially in the first match. So after 4 rounds of the CPL 2023, only 2 matches have been completed, while the other 2 have been washed out. So far, there's nothing to write home about except for the senior West Indies players continue to dominate the tournament. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Joining me this morning to what was supposed to be the preview of the Jamaica Tallawahs match against the Barbados Royals is Bobby Brown. Also expected to join me is Andre Douglas, but Andre is not here at this time. Hello, Bobby, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Mr. Brown, and welcome to everyone.
Yes, man. Glad that you can be here, Bobby. We have seen where this CPL is being affected by the weather. What is your view on the scheduling of the CPL?
I always question the scheduling of the CPL. Why is it always in hurricane season? But I guess they schedule the international games around the other times. So that is my guess.
So what do you think can be done though to change the schedule? Because I look at it that this IPL finishes the end of May or the beginning of June, and immediately the team had to go to the World Cup qualifiers. And we saw even West Indies players had to leave the World Cup qualifiers to come to play the test series against India. So it has been a tight schedule. And immediately after the Indian series finished, the Indian series finished last Sunday, and we started the CPL on Wednesday. So is it a matter that there's just no time at all in the schedule?
I think so. We have a timing problem, but I think we could push it back maybe to November and could play something else. Yeah, we could play it in November because like October, November is the dry season. We start get to winter, so we are gonna have less rains,
But for the past about 5 seasons or so, we have played our Super 50 tournament in October.
Well, maybe change the Super 50. Maybe play it in January or February.
Okay, so you're saying that play the CPL October, November, and put the Super 50 to January or February, because something has to be done about this scheduling, because it is very sad that it is very disheartening that we cannot get any game, and we're looking forward to the CPL so much, and after 2 games, the other 3 have been washed out, counting today's game, because Ted Buddha, who is in St. Lucia, is saying to us that there will be no play this morning, and we have to keep our fingers crossed that there will be any game later today. So something must be done about this schedule. You can we are seeing that we are being joined by Andre now. Andre, are you hearing me now? You know, Andre
I'm hearing the Carlton.
And we were talking. Yes, Andre, Bobby and I was just looking at the scheduling. What are your views on the scheduling?
I think we have an issue where the scheduling is concerned, because if you know that our rainy season, starts pretty much, we're actually in a rainy season, but it picks up speed during the months of September into October, and the majority of the CPL games are actually played in September. We normally get a lot of shows at the back end of August into September. So I think it's always a very, very tricky situation, with the scheduling of the CPL games, with the majority being played in September.
Okay. Well, the weather situation is what it is. We cannot do anything about it now. But we have seen so far where 2 matches have been completed. Who are the standout player to you, Bobby? Who do you think have impressed you? I know that Chase have done well, Brandon King have done well, but who were off the radar that is coming through? Someone who is not a senior West Indies player. Who have impressed you so far?
Matthew Ford. He has impressed me so far. in the 2 games. Heard a lot of talking about him in the Canada, and I said I wanted to see him perform in the CPL first. And so far, he has impressed me in the 2 games.
Thank you very much. What about you, Andre? Who have impressed you so far?
Yeah, likewise, like I was just about to say Matterford myself, I saw him in ball, in particular against in the game against Barbados. The first time seeing a youngster who bowls quite a number of in swingers. He got, his in swingers. He got his in swingers going pretty well in that game, and it was quite impressive. He's not the quickest of bowlers, but the ability to move the ball, especially the inducker, it was quite impressive to me, and I hope that he will just grow from strength to strength.
Well, he has certainly impressed me also. Well, what do you think about Naeem Young? As I was saying before we go live, that Naeem Young was one of the players that I had in my World Cup squad for the qualifiers, but he was left out. And although he was expensive when he bowled, he did came on and play a blinder towards the end of the Barbados Royal innings. What are your views on Naeem Young? And also, although he only bowled 1 over yesterday, but he was under pressure, Jer McAllister. So give me a feedback on both. One of you can take Jer and one of you can take Naeem Young. You can go first, Andre.
Naeem Young. Okay. Naeem Young, I've seen him play from under 19 days, and I've always been impressed with him. However, I'm going to say that, I think that he still has a lot of work to do where his bowling is concerned. I still, I want to see him a bit more consistent in his line and length. I think that is far too inconsistent for my liking. But I know that he has a lot of potential, and I've seen him play some very good innings, and he's pretty capable with the bat. So I just hope that his bowling can really improve, and he can be a force to be reckoned with in the future.
Yeah. What do you say about Jer McAllister, Bobby? Although it's only 1 over, but he was really under pressure.
Yes, he was really under pressure. I like the 1 over that he bowled. He was quick, fast. He tried to bounce the player, but it was really hard to analyze the 1 over. So I would like to see him bowl at least 2-3 over and to see what he can do. But the 1 over was impressive.
Okay, so you need a larger sample size.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul Griffith is saying that really.
I've heard, just a minute, Carlton. Where Jer McAllister is concerned, I've heard a lot of good things about him. I heard that he was pretty even in the tour of Bangladesh. Yes, he was pretty. He's a pretty nippy bowler, and he bowled, some good, really bowl really quickly and good consistent line and length. So I hope that the necessary powers are working with him, and sooner rather than later we'll see him in the senior mix-up.
Yeah, the news coming out though is that he never used to play cricket before. He's just recently started playing cricket, maybe 2-3 years ago, and he's been coached by Vasper Drakes. So the body of work that generally someone who has been playing cricket for many years, he doesn't has that as yet, but they are working on him, and they are working on his fitness. Now, Paul Griffith is saying that the matches should be played in Jamaica, and if they were being played in Jamaica, they would not have been washed out. Time and time again, the question has been asked so often, why isn't it CPL games being played in Jamaica? What's your view, Bobby? Why is it that no CPL? What are you hearing? What are you hearing from the diaspora? Why no games are being played in Jamaica?
Well, I'm hearing that it's because Jamaicans don't come out to support the team. But whenever Jamaica is playing, I see a lot of people, so I don't understand that. And to me, the next thing, I was looking at some figures, and they say the CPL, some players say the CPL is the 3rd most watched league. Some players say it's the 5th most watched league. So my thing to the CPL management or Jamaica Tallawahs is, you're still making money from TV rights. So I don't get why. I mean, I think it's something political.
You think it's something political. Andre, what do you think why no CPL game is being played in Jamaica?
Well, I've actually heard that it's political. I've heard that there is some, you know, some form of
You know,
disagreement
I
between the
don't cut you,
Jamaican.
but you know why I don't like to go down the political road? It just seems like whenever anything happens, the only persons that we can blame are the government, or and I'm not talking up specifically about the government at the moment, but it always seems like we just throw back everything on the government. So is that a
Yeah, but I
case here
mean,
now where we just throw we because cricket cannot solve the problem? Cricket is saying that blame the government. Is that a case here?
yeah, but if you look at even past World Cups that we have had in the Caribbean, I think it was 2010. The Jamaican government at the time did not even offer, did not put in a bid for any of those matches. So they have to take some of the flack where cricket in Jamaica is concerned, without a doubt. There's no
And
way that.
my counter for that is that, do you want the government to run the cricket, or do you want the cricket to be separated from government? Because at the same time, there's a tendency to say government should not be involved in sport. Then yet, whenever something go wrong with sport and sport needs some money, they call on the government.
Yeah, but the thing, all right, this is how we have to separate it. We're not expecting the government to have a say in terms of what the persons involved in the team, or even the
So
day-to-day running of the cricket. But
I
in
stop you
terms
there.
of stuff
You do not expect the government to have a say in the game, but you expect to get the money from the government.
no, I mean, not even say the money of such, but even in terms of putting in a bid for games to be played, that the government has to approve such. Right? I'm not expecting the government to put in, say, a great deal of money or put in any money whatsoever in terms of getting games here. But in terms of putting in a bid for games to be played, they have to play their part in where that is concerned. And if they don't approve games to be played, the games cannot be played here.
So has there ever been a time when any government in the region does not approve games to be played, whether in Jamaica or anywhere?
Well, I've heard from very good sources that in 2010 that the Jamaican government did not put a bid in to host any of those games.
But that's what I'm saying, that the Jamaica government cannot put in the bid. It must be the JCA. When the prime ministers went to the ICC to talk about Dave Cameron, what did the president of the ICC say? He said that he does not deal with politicians, he deals with the cricket West Indies. Bobby, what's your views on the matter?
Well, like I said, I don't fully understand what's the matter, but when I look at every avenue, I cannot understand why there's no... That is the only pointer I'm seeing. It must be something political, because I cannot understand why. We still have a Tallawahs in the competition. So if it is a fact that where you're going to say Jamaicans don't support cricket, then why would we still have a Tallawahs? Why not a Dominica team or something else? So we're not, and it's not just Tallawahs. We're not even getting West Indies games.
Okay, all right. Let's move away from the politics, because we really discuss sport on this channel, and not really politics, and maybe we just sidetrack there for a while. Okay, I agree. We have not seen all the teams. Probably we have only seen 4 teams really up close. Who are the teams you see? The team, and I know we are all Jamaicans here, but in all honesty, which is the team you have seen so far that you think that this is the team to beat? Bobby?
Well, Jamaica looks good, but to me, I only really see Jamaica and St. Lucia. Who was the next? Barbados play one game. So far, St. Lucia look good, but I think Jamaica will be the team to beat, especially when Alex Hales come.
What do you say, Andre?
Well, so far Jamaica is the best that I've seen thus far of the 2 games we have played. I still have a great deal of concern with the middle order batting. I think their batting is still a bit too short. When you have the likes of Raymond Reefer coming at 6 and below that, we don't have really much in the batting after Reefer, you know, and even Reefer struggles. And if you have a person like John Good, the wicketkeeper, he has a strike rate of 80 in T20 cricket. If you're gonna have a strike rate of 80 and that is your number 4 batsman, you're gonna struggle more often than not. You know, I just don't understand that selection in particular, right?
Yes.
And Reefer himself is just having averaging around a strike rate of 100. So there lies my concern, you know. But apart from that, I think the St. Lucia team to me is even a better rounded batting team, a more rounded team to me than the Jamaican, to be honest. You know, they have more experience in terms of middle order, in terms of their batting, and they have a good balanced bowling attack also.
Okay, Dennis Barnaby saying that we should really blame the administrators. When I look at that Jamaica team played against St. Lucia, and I look from 3 to 5, that would be Brooks, Django, and Reefer. And I think that's where the real weakness of the Jamaica team is. Now, I don't think we have another wicket keeper on the bench. So Jagu will more than likely has to play. But he doesn't need to bat at number 4. He doesn't need to bat at number 4. And Brooks with a strike rate of 105. And I don't quite remember Reefer's strike rate now. So it's very important that I think for Jamaica point of view that we get Alex Hayes in that team as quickly as possible. I know that the finals of the 100 and the Lankan Premier League is today. So we're expecting by Wednesday for our match on Wednesday. Now, apart from him also, I thought I saw Jermaine Blackwood in the Tallawahs squad. And I really think that Blackwood and Ailes should come in for Brooks and Reefer to strengthen that middle order. And the thing about Jagu is that that's where the problem started last year between Powell and Shivnarine Chanderpaul. It was Jagu was the root of it because Powell was making the point that Kennard Lewis can win a match with the bat, but Jagu cannot really win it. But then Shiv was making the point that Jagu is really the better keeper and you don't really want a nick to go, especially if a good batsman and the cat is dropped. And that's where the problem started with Ravman Powell and Shivnarine Chanderpaul last year. But that Jamaica middle order is really, really brittle. So Claude Murphy said, Mr. Forum, how are you today? Good day to the other 2 panelists. So Claude Murphy is bigging up the gentleman. Trivia question, your brain in the
morning, Lord.
Canadian, I set a new record for something only to see Brian Lara break it almost immediately. What was the record? Jason Humphrey, that one beat us. I cannot answer that one. The government
I think it's the quickest. Let me answer that one. Carlton, I think that's the quickest half century in a World Cup match by West Indian batsman.
Okay, good. Well done, Andre. Well done. So that's I just think that the Jamaica bowling is very strong. I was also disappointed that Barbados Royal played Wickham instead of Athanaze. What are your views on that, gentlemen? Playing Wickham instead of Athanaze.
I think we hear that Athanaze was injured.
Okay, so you heard that he was injured.
That he got a nick. So.
Okay, that's what you heard too, Andre? Because I never heard.
Yes, I heard that he was carrying a niggle, so that's the reason why he was left out.
Yes. But, now we saw in the match between St. Lucia and Barbados Royals, and in the past I would thought that this was only good banter. But when Joseph got Myers, he put Myers in his pocket and sent him off. Do you think that was as a result of the misfield in the final T20 International, the misfield when Myers was at short third man, and then the catch that he should have taken at mid-wicket? Do you think that there may be something going on between Myers and Joseph?
I don't think that. I think Myers did hit him for a 6 or a 4, And then the commentator was saying, ball short to Mayers, ball short to Mayers. The next ball short, Mayers put it right in the man hand. I think it was just friendly fire.
Okay,
Yeah,
what's your
it's
thought
just
on it, Andre?
more friendly banter than anything else. I think
It was more
it was a
friendly.
ball before that Myers hit him over long on for 6. And I think Bishop said, alluded to the fact that, that Myers doesn't play the short ball very well. So why he doesn't understand why Joseph has not delivered a short ball to him yet, But I think that's more friendly banter than anything else.
That's my initial thought. But looking at it, Joseph sent him off. He never just put him in his pocket. He sent him off. So was that something? Something had it?
No, I mean everybody drop Joseph catch in every match. Sometimes at least people drop at least 2 catch for Joseph. Even in the 5 overs the other day, them drop 2 catch for Joseph. So I don't think so.
And if you watch Joseph over the years, Joseph is one of those cricketers who's always very animated. So seeing him do something like that is not surprising any at all. Very animated. When they plays for the West Indies or St. Lucia or whichever teams he plays for.
Okay. Yes, so Claude Murphy, I really don't want to go back to that Claude Murphy, but I have you. I'm not going to react, Claude Murphy, but I'm just going to read your point. The government in the region works in tandem and the best interest of one another. Games are given to strengthen their sport tourism. Okay, so I'm not going to. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Beer. Paul Griffiths is saying that Jamaica Tallawahs is the best team. And by the way, Jason Humphrey saying that you are correct, Andre. Now, in the first match that played,
yeah, I know I'm correct.
I did a live watch along. And at the end of the match, I was saying that Chase should have been the man of the match. And they gave the man of the match to Brandon King. Yet still the computer of Ruston Chase as the most impactful player in the match. So why was King given the man of the match instead of Chase? Just lost Bobby Brown there for a minute. I hope he comes back shortly.
Is that
yes, rain again?
Is that
rain again?
Yeah. I think that's going to be the case.
Andre, why was not Chase? Because I still think that Chase did more in that match than Brandon King. And the computer said that Chase was the most impactful player in the match. So why was King given the man of the match?
Yeah, I agreed. I very much agree with you. It's quite, baffling as to the reason why King was selected over Chase, because Chase made a half century. He took 3 wickets, So I don't understand why he was not named man of the match. But, we have seen those very strange decisions in cricket before. So, I'm not going to even say much about it.
Bobby Brown, what's your view on it?
I didn't hear. I got a call and I got chipped out.
No, Chase, in the first match, Brandon King was given the man of the match. And majority of the persons in the community said that King should have gotten it. And I respect the views of the community. I always respect the views. But when the data was analyzed by the computer, Ruston Chase was the most impactful player. So why did we give King the man of the match instead of Ruston Chase?
I thought Ruston Chase was the most impactful player, but the winning team will always get the man of the match.
But is that right? Is that right? Because it's a player of the match,
I don't think that's right, but that's the more conventional thing. I don't know why, but unless the player did so well, you will see the losing team getting the man of the match.
But Shadworth is saying that impactful doesn't mean the best player in the game. How do you separate that? How do you separate that? I don't know. But in my opinion, the best player in the game is the most impactful. So I don't know. I don't know how you separate it. So Shug is saying that because King team win, forget the computer. Okay, Shug. So we forget the computer. All right, cool, no problem. Claude Murphy is saying, do you all think that Cornwall should bat with a runner? My lord, that run out was so embarrassing. we're just about coming to it. That's what we're going to come to next. So thank you for bringing up Claude Murphy. That was the next topic that we're going to discuss. Was the run out Mayor's fault or was it Cornwall's fault?
All Cornwall.
Yep.
All Cornwall. It appears to me that he slowed up. Did you get that same impression, Andre?
Well, yeah, I mean, Cornwall to me just didn't make an effort at all to run. The man actually, as I said, he actually walked, tried walking to the other crease. The man just did not put the effort in.
Bobby, Andre saying that he never put the effort in, and we all saw it, and I can agree with Andre. But is it that what we saw from Cornwall was his maximum effort?
No, he could have put more effort. He was walking.
Well, but all right, look at it now. Understand. Somebody is running a 400-meter race for the first time. The person might start off fast, but by they reach 200 meters, they start walk. And probably by 150 meters out, they stop. Was it a case that Cornwall just can't run the 22 yards? Is it that a case?
It's the first run. I could understand if it was said even the fifth over. It was the first run. And if you cannot run the first run, then I don't think you should even be there.
Okay. Andre, what do you think?
What I see of Cornwall, I think that he has gotten even bigger than the last time that I've seen him played. And I just don't think he's putting out enough effort to get himself in any form of shape. And as a professional cricketer, it's just an indictment on the West Indies board, an indictment on the player himself for the way he actually carries himself, the way he takes control of his career. He has to do better than what he has done, really.
Oh, I don't need you to answer this, but it just goes back to the point of the government. How can you really blame the West Indies Cricket Board for Cornwall not being fit? Cornwall himself, don't answer that. But it just goes back to show that I don't understand, Andre, but you don't need to answer. It just goes back. Cornwall himself had said that he's doing a lot of work on his fitness and he's on a diet plan and so on. Is this just talk or do you believe him?
I think it's just talk.
I mean, if he was doing a lot of work, you'd have seen the result. Listen, in this day and age, where we have modern day medicine, you have access to the best diet around, to good physical trainers. You just can't be playing professional cricket or professional sport in that sort of shape. I don't believe that he's putting out enough effort. I really don't believe that he's doing the necessary work to get himself in the shape that he should.
Okay, just back to the man of the match point, and I'm just going to run through these comments. So Dexter is saying, so the man of the match is normally given to the most impactful player of the winning team. Why should the loser of the team that loses get the player of the match? Okay, and that is really my point. Is it correct that it is the most impactful player on the winning team that should always get the player of the match? Because it never said the most impactful player of the winning team. It said a match. So why can't the losing team get the match? And their general, and Aaron Lewis is saying you will not see the losing team win the man of the match. And is that right? Is that really right, gentlemen?
And I've seen it before, I was going to say to you, the first time that I saw a member of the losing team being man of the match was by the name of a guy named Patel from New Zealand. It was a match I played at Sabina Park, where he was, he was a judge. He was a judge, man of the match, and I think West Indies won that game.
Okay, good.
So
Just running
it
through
has
some
happened
comments
before.
before I come to you, Bobby. Cornwall running in slow motion. Dennis Barnaby is saying that true, that run out was comical. Claude Murphy is saying he was running at his fastest. And that's the thing I'm saying, that was he running at his fastest? I just think that he was at his fastest. Government does not have the money. It's the people money. Government making investment does not mean they must have a say. Whoa. Government making investment does not mean they must have a say. I would not invest my money and don't have a say, though, Shabbat. I have to have a say if I'm investing my money. Cornwall did not make the effort, but I believe that with that way he can be in pain as he's not properly warmed up. So there are different comments coming in. Comical, he's not capable of running faster, he's limited. Mr. Casanova one is saying, I want to hear what diet plan food Cornwall eating, because I just don't believe he's saying he needs to take accountability. And I agree with you. Now, so we off the chase is, if there's a match to be played today, and we have looked at the Cornwall thing, if there's a match to be played today between the Barbados Royals and the Jamaica Tallawahs, how do you see this match going? More than likely, it will be a 10-over match at this time. Andre? Bobby?
In terms of what? Like, who would win?
If the match to be played today between the Barbados Royals and the Jamaica Tallawahs, who do you pick to win the match and so on? Just like if you're certain the match was going to play, how do you see the match going today?
Well, if Barbados come with the same team that they did, they will get beaten for sure. So Rahman Powell and the coach have to do some better picking of the team. I did not understand Rahman Powell's tactics. I did not understand what he was trying to do, because even with Cornwall didn't bowl her over. And remember, Cornwall is a bowling all-rounder. He just opens the batting in T20, but he did not bowl her over. So if they go with the same plan, Jamaica will beat them.
Okay. Andre?
Yeah,
Andre
I think that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Andre.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, man. We are hearing.
Okay, good. I think that the Barbados batting is woefully short. If you think that Jamaica's batting is short, I think Barbados batting is even shorter than Jamaica's batting. When you have the likes of Jason Holder coming at number 6, you must be very worried if Jason Holder walks in at 6 in your T20 team in terms of the batting. So although their bowling is probably just about even where Jamaica's concerned, their batting is even shorter than that of Jamaica's. So I would have to give Jamaica the edge if there should be a match today.
Okay. Rowan Thomas, as we speak right now, rain is falling, and if the match should get underway, we will be back here. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I want to thank all the viewers for being here. Over 157 persons watching this feed at this time. Thank all of you for being here. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this morning. And if there's a match, we will be back to cover that match live. Take care of yourself, everyone, and have a good Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
Blessings.